Kia ora tātou, e te whānau, me ngā hau e whā, e pupuhi ana. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, a tēnā koutou katoa. A little live here, we've just jumped off our class and just to share with those who didn't make it. And before I do, there's many ways of skinning a cat. There's many different dialectual differences. There's many different levels of proficiency of te reo, from my level right up to te pane kiritanga o te reo, the highest proficiency in the country, and that's not me. I'm down the bottom. Even though ko pane kiri tōku maunga, ko te waikaukau o ngā mātua tīpuna, tō mātou puna wai, ko waimako, te kuha, me paurangahua, ngā marae, e mihi ana kia koutou e tēnei pō. So if I get it wrong, aroha mai, I sending forth love. Just some little helpers for some of the whānau who have asked. Some of us have got good memories, not like me, I haven't. Some of us can read proficiently, some have got good comprehension skills, some can write amazingly, and then speaking is another thing, another part of it. So yeah, just acknowledging that, and we all learn in different ways. One of the old people's ways was just simple, just like the Rangi teaches you. There's only 3 things you need to know. Whakarongo, titiro, and kōrero. But all the 3 go in unison. And you can't whakarongo and titiro if you're distracted, or if you're writing, or if you're not focusing. So you need to observe. Kia ahu atu te pātai ki a koe. It doesn't just mean listen to the question being asked of you. Look and observe all the nuances and all the different things that pertain, and listen to the question. Turn this off. Turn this on, turn these on loud. And listen to the question. But don't think about the answer and don't analyze it. Just listen to the question. And within the question sometimes will be imbued the answer. Kei te pēhea koe. Oh, kei te pai āhau. Kei te aha koe I tēnei rā. Oh, kei te haere au ki te toa. Sort of like that. So listen rather than think. All you have to do is listen. And observe. Was that a flick of the eyelash? So like at kapahaka, every word, every mōtiatia, every haka, every word has an action. Whether it's a pūkana, whether it's a wiri, whether it's this, and these actions are very relevant. Otherwise you wouldn't, they'll get marked down. They have to be precise. It's like writing the Treaty of Waitangi, it's precise. It's like titiro mai, whakarongo mai, following the leading hand, karanga mai, karanga tiara hiauehi. So in following those hands, but that's our grammar. That's our attention to detail. So when I show you guys these actions, they're not just for me because I want to play around like play school. They're for you, to help you become congruent and in flow. It's not like rereke. That means nothing. It's like 3 in 1. I, and the kōrero. I, unison, synchronized talking, kao. Kao. Rangi rua. It doesn't mean you're crazy, it means rangi rua. It means yes, I understand. No, I don't. Or I'm confused. Rangi rua. And a person can be rangi rua, but I'm a bit rangi rua, I'm a bit you know, but dilly-dally sometimes, and you can get confused. That's rangirua. But if you guys are out there going like this, rangirua, then that's saying something else, and that's a bit detrimental to say that to someone. So rangirua. Oh, I'm a bit confused on that one. Marama. Cool. So I'm going to do them one more time. We're going to whiz through those 15, and I want you to see it. I'm not trying to teach you like a baby, but I'm trying to teach you te reo. And it's like the maramataka Māori, everything flows with you, with your hands. You're not looking at the camera, you're looking at your hands. Or when you're doing kapahaka, you're following your hands. You're not like looking at your mates. Hey bro! Like this. Cool. And you're in tune with your instrument, your korokoro. That's where your oros come from, your koro, your voice box, and it comes out. Ka pai. So let's start with those. Ngā tohu aringa. New word. Kupu. This doesn't come out of there. Kupu. Kupu ho. Hey? Kupu ho. New word. That's new growth. Kupu ho. Listen in. Whakarongo. Nice one, Whānau. Titiro. Yeah, don't rush through them. Wait till you get in tune with it. Same or similar. Rite tonu. And say it as you do it. Same, just like this. Rite tonu. But if I look at you, that's like just rite tonu. It's not it. Rereke. Just get in tune with the word. Rereke. Cool. I have a question. It's in your voice too. Pātai tāku. Excuse me, sir. Pātai tāku. Give them the answer. Do you understand? Marama. Do you understand? Marama. Not marama. That's your girlfriend. Or that's the moon. Marama. Marama. Understanding. Yes. I. Kao. And it's just getting in tune with the kupu. Confused. Rangirua. Just like the weather. The rangi. Fine in the morning. Rain. Fine. Coat on, coat off. Rangirua. Can't make his mind up. Speak to me. Körero mai. Don't be grumpy. Körero mai. Körero mai. Tell me about it. I didn't hear you. Could you say it again? Ano. Ano. Ka pai whānau. Namely such as ara. E whitu ngā rā o te wiki. Ara. Ko te rā hina. Ko te rā tū. So like namely. Either or. Rānei. Rānei. He rākau kahurangi or he rākau karaka rānei. Which one you want? Rānei. Cool. And last one of those I think is give it heaps, tune it up a bit. Kia kaha. Kia kaha. Poof. Kia kaha. Cool. That's that one. The next time you do them, Whānau, the Whānau who are with me, really look at your hands. Don't look at me or don't look at, just get in tune with it first. And then when you do it with, hey look mum, no hands, and then you do it, you know you're coming from a place of knowing. Kupu ho. Whakarongo. Titiro. You know what you're saying then. Cool, that's the first one. The second one, well, that was a bonus actually. The next one is the Karakia. Last week, the other day, we did Karakia tuarua because we missed an opportunity to do the first one. We did it with another group. I'm going to quickly go over the Karakia, the first one. There's so many different ways of talking about the Karakia and what they are, but let's just look at this one as a tool and a model to help us with our reo. So it's the same thing. I'll do it with hand actions. I believe you'll be able to learn it better with the hand actions rather than reading it off paper. Because when you read it off paper, you are always going to read it like you always read it. And you're always going to say it like you always said it. And until you've got the tune and the reo and the oros, oro puare, oro kati, you're going to sound it wrong. So this little karakia, I like it to think of it as the ABCs of te reo Māori before the alphabet arrived here. And we even had an alphabet, but it was in our sounds. And the alphabet, when that came, the A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs, and we buy a vowel, E. But even those letters we bought, they were called pu. That's one word for them, pu. And with those letters, we bought a K, we bought a U, we bought a P, and we bought a U, and there you go, that spelled our first kupu. And all those pu made up our words and letters. And so even the Māori, even the written language or the spoken language, when we write it, it starts from ko te pu. And everything in a Māori way starts from ko te pu, a beginning, a pūtake, a pu harakeke, he taonga puoro, everything. So let's just start there for ko te pu. And even after all that knowledge and all those years and all those, and ku met pu, and then they had their family, they had kupu āhua and pumua, pumuri, they had all their, this is our language. And then they had a rerenga kōrero, they had a sentence and a paragraph, but all those years later, when the kaumātua stands up, he goes and tells you a pūrākau, so it just goes in a full circle. So let's try and draw it and spell it and say what it's saying. Ko te pu. Does that look like a root, a base and a foundation? Te pu. Te more. A taproot and a cause and a purpose. Te weu. Rootlets and fibres and as I add in like networks. Te aka. A vine, as in a vine of life. And even that little sound there, that's the sound, apparently. That's the sound of the sperm meeting the egg in its world. Ko te pu, te more, te weu, te aka, and then growth. Te rea. Cool, we're halfway. One more time, it might have been a fluke. Ko te pu, spell it. Te more, te weu, te aka, the vine is in the vine of life. Te rea. Cool. Now we've got to do some yoga. Ko te wāonui. Boom. Let your hands go around, watch what happens. Te kune. Cool. Mean, Māori yoga. Ko te wāonui. Ko te wāonui. Cool. And if we just go ko te wāonui, that's nothing. That wāo, or that wāonui, is te wāonui a tāne. That's as big as Tangaroa is 70% of the ocean of the planet Earth. That's huge. And the other half, the 30% we live on, that's covered with te wāonui a tāne. So show that, paint that. Ko te wāonui. And let your hands go round. Te kune. Pregnancy, conception, and form acquired in everything. Ideas, babies, kune, anything. It always has a growth period. Te whē. In this karakia, it's relative to sound, as in the creaking of the branch and things in its own world. te kore, the nothingness, the void, the nothingness. But I like to say the unlimited potential. You know why? Because sometimes I used to be says, bro, you're kore take. I said, yeah, no, I wasn't a very good rugby player. I had to chase the ball, so I played league, can run it up the middle. Yeah, you're still kore take. But the good thing about, that I love about being kore take, or having kore pūtia, or kore te reo, just at the beginning when you haven't got it, we have unlimited potential. Because everything in the Māori worldview, everything in this universe came out of the kore, or te korenga, the nothing of the nothingness. So how lucky are we? Ka pai, te pō. So we need to pō so we can go back there. Hene nui te pō, and so we can say Pömarie, te pō. Ki ngā tangata Māori, to natural inhabitants of the earth and all ngā iwi take. Nā rangi, te ui he anda rangi nui, rāua ko papa. Ko tēnei, te timatanga o te ao. Ko tēnei, te timatanga o te ao. And it could say this is the beginning of the world and creation, and it can, I mean it does. But it means everything. Just this discussion, your next kaupapa, it's going to have all those concepts in it. When you lay out your strategy for work tomorrow, it's going to have all those concepts in it. Can't deny it. But this ao that I'm referring to here is not like Aotearoa, that's like a cloud, but this ao is the dawning of a new beginning. Like even at night time has it. E kore, e pō. Then it gets into the early hours of the night. E ao. Hey, it's coming to 3, 4 o'clock. Kōrehi te manu, 5 o'clock, the birds are stirring. Ka ao, and it's that dawn. Ka awatea, 'tis daybreak. Ti hei mauriora. But this ao, this dawning I'm talking about is, 'tis the beginning of the new dawn. 'Tis the dawn of new beginnings, for whatever your concept. So one last time through that one, stop trying to drag it out, here we go. Ko te pu, just grow with it. Te more, and grow. Te weo, te aka, te rea, 5, easy. Stretch. Ko te wāonui, massive. Te kune, te whē, te kore, te pō, 10. Ki ngā tangata Māori, nā rangi, rāua ko papa, ko tēnei, te timatanga o te ao, ko tēnei, te timatanga o te ao. Sometimes the guys will yell out, e rongo whakairia ki runga kia tīna. It's like saying, let peace reign. Tīna, haumia hui e, tae ki e. But I'm thinking, what if the boys didn't want to say that? What if the girls want to say something different? The same equivalent, kia tau te rangi Māori. Ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao, kia tau te rangi Māori. It's the same. We call out to rongo, we're calling out to the aspect of rongo being peace. Let peace reign here. Whakairia ki runga. Cool? So recapping, it's all on here so you won't forget them. You don't need to write it down. This is the Māori alphabet. Ko te pu, not too hard on the T's, but focus on the sounds and these growths here. Ko te pu, te more, te weu, te aka, te rea. Breathe. Ko te wāonui, te kune, te pē, te kore, te pō. Home and housed ki ngā tangata Māori. It's not just Māori people, it's all natural inhabitants of the earth. Nā rangi, rāua ko papa, ko tēnei, te timatanga o te ao, ko tēnei, te timatanga o te ao. Ka pai? Cool. Oh, what do you mean I've got to sing it? When you know that, then sing it. So I don't know the tune. I don't either. But what I've been taught is, you might laugh at this, but it has helped me. My old man, he says, you're not down at the bottom tavern, because he used to drop me off there. I used to play up. But he says, think beautiful. So we think beautiful, and nā te wairua I ho mai te rangi. So just, if you want to sing it like a hooligan, kei te pai, but think beautiful. And breathe. Ko te pu te more te weu te aka te rea. Ko te wāonui te kune te whete kore te pō. Ki ngā tangata Māori, nā rangi rāua ko papa. Ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao. Ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao. Join me. Ko te pu te more te weu te aka te rea. Ko te wāonui te kune te whete kore te pō. Ki ngā tangata Māori, nā rangi rāua ko papa. Ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao. Ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao. Wero o whakairia ki runga kia tīna haumia hui e tai ki e. O kia tau te rangi Māori e. Push! Ka pai? Ka pai, just going to have a noho. Hope that's all right. What I've found is some people have found it easier learning this way than by off the videos I've done or off writing. So, and I've even had a few people write in and call me and ask, could you do the action? So I've done it for those who it works for, and not everyone likes to do it like that. But what I find is now, the goal now is once you know that, once you know those actions and you're congruent and you're part of them, and then just try and remember it here. Ko te pu, te more, te weu, te aka te rea. Just get it to flow. Ko te wāonui, te kune, te whe, te kore, te pō. Breathe. Ki ngā tangata Māori, nā rangi rāua ko papa, ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao. Ko tēnei te timatanga o te ao. And just come into your natural breath and rhythm. And then hopefully, once you've got that imbued within you, it'll just become part of your breath. And then you'll be able to just say, look, Mum, no hands, and then you can just do it. But you can still paint that picture. That's what I'm hoping you can do. Rather than just coming from here, or coming off that piece of paper, it will show. Ka pai? So that's that one, and I'm just going to go into the last kaupapa now. that we talked about, because we are going to do 10 karakia, and this is actually week 2, so I'm just going back on number 1 there. I'm finding a lot of people are sending me their video of their spoken, their auditorial, but I can see they don't know it. They're coming from here, and they're coming from what they just learnt off a piece of paper, and it shows they've been reading it, because they're still making those sounds instead of an E or E, and you can tell. But this will help you tune up, and your own ear will hear, that doesn't sound the same. Ka pai? And we're going to do this 10 weeks. This is the last term of the year, so we're going to do 10 karakia, 1 every week. Imagine if you get them tuned up. But it's no good doing them half pai. And just, yeah, this is a good time to tune up. Use that. Ka pai? Last kaupapa now. Sorry it's taking a while. Hurry up. The last one, it's the same again. How many of us have got up to do our Mihimihi or our pepeha? Well, I'll just speak for myself. And I haven't got a clue what I'm saying. I just say what I heard someone else say. I just half pie knew what I was going to say. But anyway, I made a little model, and some of my kayakos back in the day, they gave us different models. And I've just tried to come up with one and modify it to suit me, so now I can teach it to others. There's a million different ways of doing a Mihimihi and a pepeha. But all I'm doing here is a bit of a mihi and a touch of a pepeha in there about my ancestors, because we have many people come into the classes today, and they're not all from Tūhoi, or they're not all from Ngāti Haunui a Paparangi, so we need to be creative and make them feel a sense of belonging too. So I've had them learning to say their own country properly. No ingarangi, no airani, no paniora, oku tīpuna. So that's the first thing, to work out just where your tīpuna were from, because that's where you're from. It's not only about mum and dad, it's about your grandparents, that's where you're from. No hea koe, bro, no hea koe. In my head I'm going, oh, I was born in Christchurch. They don't want to know that. Who are you from? Where are you from? Oh, no, no mātātua waka, but no ngai tūhoi. It's my grandfather and grandparents. No Ngāti Kahungunu. No Ngāti Ruapani. And my mum, she's a Pākehā, and we love that. We were brought up half Māori, half Pākehā. We love that, and my mum's happy with that. But I don't tell people for them to say they're Ngāti Pākehā. I want to be more creative. You fellas are not Ngāti Pākehā. You fellas are no ingarangi, no airani, oku tīpuna. Yeah, think of that. And don't say I tai mai au I te wakarererangi. It doesn't even make sense for me. That's not even very honouring of yourself. It's like, and don't worry, I'm not trying to get my land back off you when you say, oh, I'm a 10th generation Kiwi. It's like, well, yeah, big deal, so am I. We're all Kiwis now, and there's none left. But it's not about you, and it's not about me. It's about our ancestry and our whakapapa. So there's only one line there that brings that in. But I'll do mine. But what I want you to focus on is these parts like I did before. So here's breaking it down, and they're very important. Ko, no, i, ke. Again, ko, no, i, ke. And they're all to do with time and place, and particles of speech, and they're to do with time tenses and locations. Kupu tohuwa and kupu wahi, time and place. Who am I? Ko te umuariki mai āhau. It's not really about my first name, it could be a little bit, but it's also about my surname or your surname, because that's maybe going to take them back to no. Now that name will come in. No ngai tūhoi, no ngāti kahungunu, no ngāti ruapani, me te ao Pākehā o ku tīpuna e mihi ana kia koutou. Ka pai? And if you have, like I'll use my sister as an example, because this is who you are. So it's who are you first? Ko Anne-Marie May, āhau, if that was her. But then that's who she is. Engari, ko Ani Hākui, tōku ingoa Māori. So that's her Māori name that she's celebrating, because her name Anne-Marie comes off our Nani Hākui, and her name was Tangi Meriana, and turn it around, Anne-Marie. But her name also derives from that tīpuna. Nani Hākui, that's what they called her. But yeah, so if you've got two names, it's not like you have two names, you are. Ko Anne-Marie May āhau, ko Ani Hākui tōku ingoa Māori. So ko, and then no. No hea koe, where are you from? Ka pai. I, in the past, I, time tense, and a location. iiWhānau mai au, I o tautahi. I was born in Christchurch. iiWhānau mai au, I o tautahi. So I'll write it out for you fellas later, and I know everyone else knows how to do theirs. This is just for those who are interested. After being born, you grew around a few areas. I tipu ake ai au, then I grew around these areas. I te waipounamu, so that was Rangi, Kaiapoi, Wood End, Pines Beach, all around down there, Waimakariri. But I te waipounamu, I porirua, and I kāpiti hoki. Cool, we're getting up to the current time and place. Kei parapara umu au e noho ana. Ka pai, so we're halfway through, just like the Karakia. But try and get that sequence and the time and tenses. And they're important. Otherwise our kōrero doesn't even make sense. And take it from me, mine never ever did. Till my mate Perenara got me and he tidied it up. He saw me talking on the marae and he says, tino pai tō kōrero. He goes, oh, ētahi he PAKU hapa. I was going, what does that mean? You want a cup of tea or something? He goes, oh, you got a few mistakes. I had heaps. But I like to keep it simple now. Whānau, I don't know anything. But I just like, I know enough. Just want to know enough to survive, and the next time it comes to Mihimihi, I don't have to run out of the marae and go home. And we can stand up and be confident. We don't have to know everything, but I want you to stand up in your own skin and acknowledge your Irish and Scottish sides and Ngāti Poro, all of it. Ko, no, I, K. And those E's are E, the letter I, E, not E. Because we get confused, so we just go E. Cool. Once you've got that whānau, the group has been doing that, then we're working on the second half. Once you've nailed that, then the next part is, who are you and what do you do? Oh, he mama āhau. I said, I know you're a mum, but you're more than that. So think about what you are and what your contribution is to society, to your family. He kai karanga āhau. So for me, I might say, he kai āwhina āhau i te reo Māori. He pauora hoki mo te kawa oranga. Well, that's what I'd like to be. Even though I eat a lot of fish and chips, I'd like to be an advocate and to help people with te reo. But also I'd rather be like a coach for te reo and for hauora. I'm still working on the hauora. Cool. So what do you do? What do you do? He kai pāmu āhau, I'm a farmer of what? daffodils, no, i ngā hipi, o i ngā tia, me ngā kau, whatever. He, and what's, you know, it's important, I want you to think about it. He kai karanga, boy, maybe is it? He māma āhau, he kuia hoki, ki aku mokopuna, e ono. So just elaborate on it a little bit. He. Cool. And now just to build up your kōrero, otherwise, what did you get up for? So you might just want a little thing. Ko te mea tino pai kia hau, something that's important to me. I was talking to one of the bros tonight, and because what's important to him and all of us really is whānau. But I said, what else? And he goes, oh, I know he's a tangata ahu whenua. He loves the whenua. He's from the river. He is the river. He says, oh, I like to gather kai. I said, yeah, I can see you by all those tusks hanging out. And his brother, they love to go diving. So for me, he's a tangata hou kai, he tangata hou ika. So he said, oh, maybe, ko te mea tino pai kia hau, ko tōku whānau, me te hau kai, me te hau ika hoki. So use something like that, something that's important to you, or hauora, whatever it is. Ko te mea tino pai kia hau, and follow the sentence how you started, ko te hauora, ko te whānau, me aku kuri. Yeah, you might have your pets. Ka pai, that's enough, eh? So, ko te, then the last three, they're all he. He whakataukī. And this whakataukī, for me, should support what you said here. Should support who you are, your journey. But don't just go to the dictionary and come back and tell me, oh, well, he taonga tonu te ware. It's like, what the hell does that mean? What's that got to do with your whai kōrero? He taonga tonu te ware means, oh, I couldn't think of anything to say, so I'll just say that. So I want you to find a relative whakataukī. What did he just say? The whenua, eh? And the river. And I am the river. He whakataukī, e pepeha no oku tīpuna. E rere kau mai te awa nei, mai te kāhui nui, te kāhui maunga, ki tangaroa. Ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au, nō reira tēnā koutou. Something like that. But make your whakataukī, and the good one about that one is, it might be a whakataukī to me, but that's more like a pepeha to you. It's a pepeha, that's a saying of your old people. So that's part of your pepeha, so that would fit cool for you. Ka pai? Once you get your whakataukī, then he waiata kīnaki. He waiata kīnaki. So not Jack and Jill went up the hill, or Baba Black Sheep just because you worked on the farm. Oh, you can't even say that anymore. But sing a waiata that supports that. And I want you to think about it. Because if you stand up and sing a song like, it's all good to sing Te Aroha, but was that relevant to what you said there? Then sing it. So think of he waiata kīnaki. Cool whānau. And sorry to drag it out. The last one, he kupu whakamutunga. Just take some words out in here to summarise it all up. Just a few words. Nō reire te whānau, ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So I hope that covers a little bit, and let me know if you don't like it. But I have had some good kōrero come in and a couple of calls. If it's helped you, cool. If it hasn't, delete. Just delete me. But yeah, that's my thing, like you fellas. You will get up every day and go and serve your higher purpose and look after your family and your work colleagues or whatever your mahi is, and that's manaaki tangata. And same as me, this is my mahi. Mana ki tangata. Hei aki I te mana o te tangata with whatever you do. Whether you nurture your children, your family, your farm or the whenua. And yeah, that's all of us. Mana ki tangata. Look after humanity. Ka pai. Māku rā pia, māku rā pia, māku koe, e awhi e, ki te ara, ara tipu, māku koe, e awhi e. Ka pai, perhaps I can help you, perhaps you can help me, perhaps we help each other. Have a good day. You know there's a lot of things going on in the world at the moment and a lot of people struggling, and we all have our own struggles too. But yeah, send forth love. Have a good one. Take care. Kia hau maru. Stay safe. And yeah, I'll see you soon. And we got our iiWhānau on Sunday. If you want to come along, find our ngā hau e whā online wānanga. And I don't mean to get grumpy, but I said, bro, it's a wānanga, not a play school. So even though we're beginners, you still got to advance and push yourself, do your Mihimihi. Don't tell me, oh, I'm just learning. It's like we're all learning. So we're adults now, so try a bit harder. Delete that one and do another one. Have a good moi, Pömarie. See you next time. Hei ko nei rā.